Imagine waiting all year to upgrade your phone, cash in hand, only for Tim Cook to effectively tell you to come back next spring or cough up $1,000. That is exactly the massive trap Cupertino is setting up this September. For almost 2 decades, you could blindly bet your savings on a standard, relatively affordable new iPhone dropping in the fall. Not anymore. Apple is completely tearing up their playbook, and if the latest supply chain chatter is right, they are deliberately starving the entry-level market. There is no base model iPhone 18 coming this year. When the keynote rolls around, you are getting the Pro, the Pro Max, and Apple's incredibly expensive new foldable. That's it. The crazy part is how we actually know this is happening. Supply chain leaker Fixed Focus Digital dropped a massive hint a few weeks ago, pointing out that Apple abruptly extended production of the base iPhone 17 way past its normal cycle. If you know anything about manufacturing, that is a massive red flag. Factories do not keep pumping out old hardware unless there is a giant gap in the roadmap. The standard iPhone 18 has been kicked all the way down the road to spring 2027. It is a wildly aggressive move. Apple is essentially forcing anyone who wants to stay current in the Apple ecosystem this fall to swallow the Apple tax and buy the premium model. Mark Gurman has been hinting for months that the lineup was getting a massive shakeup, but honestly, I'm highly skeptical about how the general public is going to react to a forced upsell like this. Are you guys actually willing to pay that premium just to have a new phone this year, or are you holding on to your current daily driver? Let me know down in the comments. So, if Apple is betting their entire fall quarter on the Pro models, they have to deliver something massive. And they are starting with the camera. From the iPhone 14 Pro up to the 17 Pro, the main lens basically gathered dust. We had a fixed aperture every single year. But the iPhone 18 Pro is finally changing the physics of the camera module. We are getting a true variable aperture on the main 48-megapixel sensor. This means the lens will mechanically open up wider when you are shooting in a dimly lit restaurant to pull in more light, and then physically close down when you are shooting outdoors in bright sunlight to keep everything sharp. It is the exact kind of hardware control you expect on a high-end mirrorless camera, and getting it in a smartphone is incredibly difficult to engineer. Korea's ET News broke the story that Apple is already actively ramping up the supply chain for this variable aperture system. The LEC confirmed it too, saying the production lines are already moving. This isn't just a rendered concept on Twitter, this is real hardware. To back it up, software leaks point to a brand new, native pro-level camera app. We are talking physical manual shutter speed, manual ISO, and manual focus dials built right into the default software. Moving away from the back of the phone, let's talk about the display, because the front is getting its biggest redesign in years. The dynamic island is finally going on a diet. Ross Young, who practically has a flawless track record when it comes to display supply chain leaks, says Apple is successfully pushing the Face ID flood illuminator entirely under the screen. That means that massive black pill sitting at the top of your display is shrinking by roughly 35%. We actually saw a prototype image leak a few days ago showing exactly this layout. It looks noticeably tighter, leaving you with way more usable screen real estate and way less of an eyesore when you're watching a full-screen video. It is the perfect half step before they figure out how to bury the entire selfie camera under the glass. Under the hood, this thing is a completely different beast. The 18 Pro is packing the brand new A20 Pro chip, which is Apple's first jump into a true 2nm process. We know from past cycles that pushing thermal limits has been a nightmare for them, but reports out of DigiTimes claim that TSMC 2nm yields are incredibly healthy right now. That means Apple can crank up the speed without running into the severe thermal throttling that aggressively cooked previous generations of iPhones. It brings massive efficiency gains, meaning your battery life should theoretically jump, and it leaves an insane amount of processing headroom for ADVR demanding on-device AI features they plan to force into the next iOS update. But the real unsung hero inside this chassis is Apple's in-house C2 modem. The original C1 was basically just a test run, but the C2 introduces full 5G connectivity via satellite. Not just those extremely slow, emergency SOS text messages. We are talking actual, usable data. The ability to browse the web, load a map, or send a photo when you are absolutely miles away from a cell tower. That is genuinely game-changing technology. Now, we have to talk about aesthetics. Let's be real, color is half the reason some people even bother upgrading. Cupertino always picks one signature color to drive the hype cycle. Last year gave us that polarizing cosmic orange, but this year, they are going dark. Macworld sources deeply embedded in the supply chain claim the signature color is a stunning dark cherry. Do not picture a bright red phone. Think of a deep, luxurious wine color, heavy on the burgundy with a slight purple tint catching the light. It looks way more like a premium luxury watch finish than a tech gadget. The international site Makotakura recently showcased some dummy units, and alongside that dark cherry, the rest of the lineup is rounded out with a really clean light blue, a stealthy dark gray, and your standard silver. There is also a massive upgrade to how the phone feels in the hand. Leaker Shrimp Apple Pro noted that Apple is abandoning the weird two-tone glass back we have right now. The ceramic shield area over the MagSafe array used to look slightly different from the frosted glass around it, but Apple is introducing a new manufacturing process to create a fully unified rear panel. No visual break, no mismatched textures, just one perfectly seamless integration of glass. But here is the absolute wildest part of the entire strategy, and you need to hear this before you open your wallet. If you hold the iPhone 18 Pro next to the 17 Pro, they look almost entirely identical from a distance. You are getting the same screen dimensions, the exact same camera bump layout, and the same titanium frame design. If you are sitting on a 17 Pro right now, that variable aperture camera is literally the only hardware feature that realistically justifies the upgrade. I honestly doubt a camera tweak is enough to trigger a massive super cycle for normal consumers. Apple knows this is a tough sell, which brings us to the price. According to supply chain analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, Apple is holding the line at around $1,100. They are freezing the price. While Samsung and Google keep jacking up their flagship prices, Apple is aggressively keeping the Pro tag exactly where it is. Why? Because the iPhone 18 Pro is launching right alongside the iPhone Ultra, Apple's very first foldable. That folding phone is going to absolutely dominate the media cycle, suck up all the oxygen in the room, and steal every single headline. The 18 Pro has to somehow fight for its life and justify its own existence without a massive design overhaul. It has to survive purely on being the absolute best mobile camera money can buy. That is a dangerous game to play, but based on the hardware leaks, they might just have the specs to actually pull it off. Do you guys honestly care enough about a mechanical camera lens to buy this? Or are you just saving your cash for the foldable? Sound off below.